What's good, YouTube? It is so good to be back. I'm Umbra here, of course. I'm a few pounds lighter. I'm sorry, people. I did shave the fro. Both I and the lady friend kind of preferred this length. But it's good. It's good to take showers that are less than an hour. Again, good to not be leaving hairballs all over my room. But this is what I'm rocking for now, so you don't have to deal with it. Hope no one is too upset. But yes, I'm back for another VGC battle. This battle actually happened in the Rock HQ stream. It's against Prezi, longtime Rock HQ supporter. But if you want to see more battles from Rock HQ, definitely check out our stream. Link is in the description. We'll be streaming more often. But for any information on the Rock HQ, check out the links below. We've got the Rocket tier system launching soon. You can level up in Team Rocket. We've got the Gym Leader Challenge happening very soon. You can challenge real gym leaders. So if you want to know more about that, check out the links down below. And people, Rocket people, I'm so glad to be back on YouTube. So this was a really interesting battle. This is a VGC match, so it is the best 2 out of 3. And I want to give a shout out to Prezi. He had a very interesting team. It really took me by surprise. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get into the battle, people. Let's just get it popping right now. And again, people, if you like this video, please hit that like button. It really helps Rock HQ grow, helps support the admins, helps us get more Rocketeers in the family, more people to level up, more people for the Gym Leader Challenge. So, looking at his team, I actually decided to lead with Kang and Sableye. And I'm not gonna lie to you all, and Boziak's team really took me off guard. Looking at it here, he leads with a Slowbro, or excuse me, I shouldn't say he, but they lead with a Slowbro and a Meowstic. And I've seen a lot of Meowstic, obviously very common in VGC. So my first notion is to taunt the Meowstic. And what I was anticipating was a T-Wave on my Kangaskhan, because obviously Mega Kang is a huge threat, so I carry Protect. I anticipated them to want to paralyze my Kangaskhan. So I go for a taunt on the Meowstic, but you'll see that it actually carries the herbs so that the taunt wears off, so it's still free to go for another attack. For a T-Wave next turn if it wants to. I actually missed that when I was playing. My head was not in the game. I was not paying enough attention. And Boziak takes me by a huge surprise, even though I've used Slowbro and Slowking before in doubles. But it actually goes for a Trick Room, which puts me at a huge disadvantage right now. I'm in a very bad place. And for some ridiculous reason, I went for a Sucker Punch with my Kangaskhan. I don't know where my head was at all, ladies and gentlemen. Do not do that. A lot of Meowstic don't carry any attacking move, and even if he did, there was no reason for him to go for his one attack right there. I just went for it because it was a Trick Room. There was no good reason whatsoever to go for a Sucker Punch there. So now I reveal that my Sableye actually does carry Snarl. Given the position I'm in, I think it's kind of worth my while just to straight up go for Snarl, slower special attack. And here you really see how important it was that I went for Sucker Punch. Had I gone forward turn, which was probably my best bet, either going for return or switching into Manectric, predicting a T-Wave. But if I went for a return, I would have gotten enough damage on this Hariyama that in combination with these two Snarls, I'm willing to bet that a Sucker Punch could have possibly taken this thing out, or just got it at a much lower range of HP. But because I went for Sucker Punch, I have a Hariyama basically at full HP. Obviously, you see me, I went for Protect because I'm afraid of this thing doing damage, and wow, it surprises me. Force Bomb's a 1-hit KO. I don't know what this thing's item is, but that was absolutely amazing damage. It could be choice locked at this point, but that was insane damage. And then here I'm just making misplays all over. I go into Doctor Who, obviously, is the slowest thing in the universe because Trick Room is up. And obviously you see the Slowbro is very much unable to dent my Sableye, especially with all these special attack drops. But I do lose my Doctor Who right there. Because I made the huge mistake of bringing it in. This Trick Room being up was hugely detrimental to my entire team. And obviously while I'm slowing down the Slowbro, I'm doing nothing to Hariyama. By slowing down, I mean lowering its special attack, making it less of a problem. But I'm afraid to go for Willow with Sableye just because I know Hariyama carries Guts and I don't know what this thing's ability is yet. And also you see that the Safeguard just went down. Although when I'm playing, I'm doing a terrible job in this match of keeping track of Safeguard. But Willow, you'll notice in this first game I'm playing very poorly. This is why you use creative stuff. At least for me, I'd never seen Mons like Ambrosiak brought before, even though I used this Mon Slowbro 2 gens ago, and it really took me by surprise. The Power Herb on the Meowstic was also very effective. Definitely something I'll think about using in the future. So here I make another absolutely ridiculous play. Instead of targeting the Slowbro because the Trick Room is coming, I go for T-Bolt on the Meowstic, and there's no reason to do that whatsoever. My Manectric is also excellent at shutting down Meowstic because so many of them carry T-Wave and I have Lightning Rod. So there's no reason not to target Slowbro. I would have had a very small chance of pulling through if I did that. Obviously Meowstic would have been left around, but the trigger wouldn't be up and my mons would be faster. I could maybe do a little bit of work. Obviously, my only offensive presence at that point in time was Magnetric, but it was still a better chance. I could have burned Tyranitar, maybe hope to live a hit. But you'll notice something really, really cool here. I've never seen this done before. Tell me what you think of this. And this is something I've thought about doing actually, but Ambrosiac makes even more sense with it. He's running an Unnerved T-Tar. Hidden ability, does not have Sandstream. One thing that does reveal is it's probably an offensive variant, but obviously Unnerve is very, very viable in VGC given how many Citrus Berries there are. So that's really, really cool. He gets Unnerve, and if he doesn't want it, he can always Mega, because Mega Tyranitar gets Sandstream. And so he effectively has both abilities, and I've never seen that done before. I think that's a really, really cool strategy. To me, the only downside is you do reveal that you are offensive pretty much immediately, because a defensive build just benefits so much more from having the Sand Up. But I think that's really, really cool in a meta where there's a lot of Citrus Berries to see an Unnerved T-Tar. So let me know what you all think. I think that's really cool, but essentially I threw this game away. I played very, very poorly, and Ambrosiac's team took me by surprise. But that is one thing about VGC. You can't win on surprise alone because I potentially have 2 more games left. So now I'm in the position where I know his team. I know it a little bit better. And he might know my team, but I feel like my team has a lot more offensive pressure, and it doesn't matter that I have surprises. It's more offensively effective. So now that his surprise factor is gone, we're going to have to see how that shapes next game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into game 2. So you can see that I lead with different pokes in this battle, trying to learn from what he did last time. But one of my biggest problems in VGC I've learned when I watch back is I'm not catching enough things. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming, if I'm not focused, if I'm inexperienced or what. But for example, going into this game, I remember I didn't realize his Meowstic had the herb that would get rid of a taunt. So here I wise up, I go straight for a T-Bolt on the Slowbro because I know I can just absolutely take this thing out. But something, I went for a taunt here because I was in the game, in the moment, I was fearing that a T-Bolt wouldn't be enough to kill this Slowbro, which is ridiculous. It's more physically bulky. T-Bolt from Choice Specs Magnetric just pops it immediately. It sits down. It literally sat down. I'll go for a taunt, and it shows me the Oblivious, which is amazing. I used to use Slowking for that. I've never seen someone use Slowbro Slowking that way in this meta, and that is amazing because you can't be taunted. But this is why I love Magnetric so much, Baby Magnetric. People forget this thing's ability. I'm carrying Lightning Rod because I shut down T-Wave, and it's just amazing. So with my boost, I do a lot to Aoyama, but I can't quite kill it. And what's really disappointing is I'm wondering if this thing is banded because it's doing insane damage. Granted, Magnetric is kind of made of tinfoil, but I'm amazed that it just got popped by that. It laid down. It was insane. So now I know that I'm faster than Hariyama, so I'm very comfortable bringing in my Kang as the Trick Room is not up. And this is why I definitely should have gone. You'll notice I went for a Snarl with Sableye. I should have gone for 2 taunts in a row. One to break the herb, and then one to taunt this thing. Because now that my Magnetric is dead, Lightning Rod is gone. If I was my opponent, I would so want to T-Wave my Kang is gone, which is why I actually protect with Kang. And I'm very curious if my opponent predicted that or not. But here I make a mistake of going for a Snarl, even though I protected specifically because I predicted a T-Wave, but I don't do what I should have done and taunt to prevent a T-Wave on the next turn. So this was effectively a waste of a Protect because now next turn Kang is going to get paralyzed and there's nothing I can do about it. So that was definitely a huge, huge mistake. I should have double taunted because if I was my opponent, Kang is such a huge threat, I definitely would have wanted it paralyzed. Good call on Ambrosiac wanting those multiple methods of speed control, T-Wave, and Trick Room. I love Precarious using them both at the same time, though, as you do slow my mons down on Trick Room. Here I'm misplaying. This is the first time I've really encountered Safeguard. I'm not counting, I'm not paying attention, and I go for Willow even though he's protected. So that was definitely a huge, huge mistake on my part. I definitely should have paid attention there. So now if I was my opponent, I think it's really obvious that a Swagger play is coming, but my opponent actually goes for a Barrier. Very, very weird because I'm not afraid of this thing at all. And again, I'm like, Umbra, you're being a noodle. I go for a Willow. Even I think at this point I'm just getting really frustrated. Even though this is make or break, and I could easily lose this match here and now if I do not play carefully. But I'm not playing carefully. I'm playing very reckless, very foolish. I'm getting distracted. I'm not paying attention. That's why people, when you play, you need to slow down, relax. and think through things. I think I was just getting too hyped up during this battle. So now I am able to take up the Tyranitar, obviously. Luckily, I'm breaking through Parafusion. Again, it's part of the game. It's a risky play when you use hacks. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So now out comes the Hariyama. And I could try and protect with Kang, but I also don't want to get paralyzed and die to a attack. So again, this is why, had I taunted this thing, it would not be a problem. But I didn't double taunt. So now my Doc 2 is paralyzed as well, which is just fantastic news. Luckily, with how speed works, I'm obviously still faster for this turn, so I do go for my Scald. I'm able to take the thing out. I'm probably still faster next turn if this is a Trick Room build. So I am going to take the Hariyama out, and that leaves just the Meowstic with my 2 Mons left here. So I go for the return. With the defense increase, obviously it is able to survive, although the Sand brings it down to very, very low HP. So now I really just need one of these two to break through Parafusion next turn. At this point, I have not seen an attacking move from Meowstic. I don't know if it's Psychic, but it actually shows me Assist. So very, very cool. It's very interesting. They do pull Poison Jab. Maybe that was on Hariyama. Looking at the team, I'm not totally sure. Kang does live because it's Kang and it was a non-stab Poison Jab from Meowstic. I do go for my Dark Pulse on Meowstic and then take it out. So lucky me breaking through Parafusion there. Again, it is part of the rescue play. But I ended up winning that battle even though I really didn't deserve to. I played that very, very poorly. You saw the misplays I made. Not double taunting was very, very huge. I don't think it was a mistake not picking up on this Hariyama possibly being banded. And Brozek, if you're watching, let me know if your Hariyama was banded or not, because I want to know more about that Mon, more about your set, so when I encounter it in the future I can do better. But I did manage to win round 2, which means of course I've got one final chance. So, you know, after I won that game, I remember in my head I was like, alright, this is it, I need to focus up, I need to get my head in the game, High School Musical style, I need to focus, because I could still win this match even though I've been playing very, very poorly. So I need to kind of kick into the next level. So, let's go ahead and look at the next battle. So this is obviously the final battle. This will determine who wins this match. And for this game, I'm like, all right, I need to get my head in the game. You'll notice I did bring Lucario. Little precarious. I did bring Luke. Obviously, Lucario doesn't have the best track record on this team. I'm very much looking into replacing him. But I did bring him, so we'll see how he does. Now, I do lead with the famous duo, Mr. Fantastic and Susan Storm with the Fantastic Four. Excuse me. And so now I know that I lead with Manectric because I've got protection from T-Wave. Immediately this lead, I'm afraid of Safeguard first turn and then Swagger next turn. I've seen a lot of, and maybe this thing will go for Dragon Dance. I've seen a lot of this setup right here. Using Swagger Guard to boost Tyranitar with dual Rock Slide. So I immediately target this thing knowing I'm safe from T-Wave because of Manectric. That's why I love using Manectric. I get lucky with that crit, just immediately takes out the Meowstic, so I'm in a great position. I liked myself in the T-Vault just because it is my strongest stab. I do get about a little over a quarter off on this T-Tar. And very surprising, my opponent goes for Rocks. I've never seen hazards used in VGC. I'm not going to knock it because, like, actually my Lucario wins a Focus Sash. So it's not as if this thing does not have its uses. Obviously my opponent doesn't know what I brought, but that's just very, very interesting to see them go for Rocks. So now I'm kind of fearing a Fake Out from Hariyama. The fact that my opponent's not going for Fake Out really makes me suspect this thing is banded. So predicting a Fake Out, I just went for 2 attacks. I don't know if this was a mistake. Usually my policy is to double target. I haven't seen a Protect from Tyranitar, so I think I easily could have double targeted it. I think I was also just trying to play around the Fake Out and get massive damage off on something, because there was no reason to go for a T-Bolt on Tyranitar if Greninja got faked out, because Greninja could still kill next turn. But they're scary position right now. My opponent did just get a double down. So these are my last 2 Mons. So I'm in a very scary position. Obviously, I've only taken out one of my opponent's Mons this far. So I am in a little bit of trepidation. I am a little scared. So here, I know Fake Out's not coming. I know I outspeed both of these naturally, especially it being a Trick Room team, me being a max speed Kang. So my plan is, let's just attack with Lucario, hit Tyranitar because it's the faster of the two. So we go for a close combat on Tyranitar, take him out. And then let's go for just a return on Hariyama. It'll do massive damage. From the range the thing is at, it should be more than enough to take the thing out. So in fact, Tyranitar does in fact go down. and now my return gets off. So feeling much, much better. Now my opponent is down to their last poke. I only got 2 remaining. So very, very good thus far. Very glad I made the aggressive play to lead with Greninja and Magnetric. I was very surprised my opponent did not lead with the Trick Room given how successful it had been for them, but I did lead with Magnetric because now I knew I could OHKO the Slowbro. So Magnetric Greninja was definitely my best lead against my opponent. I think it's why I took this match, is because I did make that smart lead. So now obviously it's a 2-on-1. My opponent's going to go for Trick Room. I could go for Sucker Punch next turn, but this thing could potentially carry Slack Off, even though, again, not paying attention. I've seen it's got Trick Room, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, and Scald, I believe, for its attacks. So instead I just go for Feint because priority. And look at that! Ugh, Lucario, please hit the gym. Doesn't kill. Lucario does in fact go down, but it's highly relevant at this point. Between Sandstorm and the fact that Kang still gets to attack, I will be able to take this Slowbro down. So that is in fact the battle and the match, 2-1 in my favor. So Bosiak, thank you so much for the battle. It was a real pleasure to have this battle on the Rock HQ stream. If you want to battle me, be sure to check out the Rock HQ stream. Right now I'm accepting OU battles, VGC battles, and I'm hoping to get into Ubers, Smogon doubles, and a special, the Nintendo's next online tournament, the Battle of Legends. I'm actually trying to orchestrate a lot of Rock HQ people to get together and to compete in that and try to win the whole thing, to represent Rock HQ, and maybe win the whole competition. So stay tuned for more info on that. You'll definitely see more of that. Depending on when you see this video, what is today? Today is July 9th? It is July 9th. If you're watching this on July 9th, then know that tonight, July 9th, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, Shade and I are going to double stream, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Really helps Rock HQ grow. The question of the today, what I want to hear from you Rocket people, is what do you think of Unnerved Tyranitar? It's something I've actually thought about doing before, like using Tyranitar on Sun teams and using Unnerve. But I've never seen it used before, and I really love how Ambrosiak used it, so let me know. What do you think of Unnerved Tyranitar in VGC and in general? I think it's awesome if you use a Mega T-Tar. I think it's really cool. Ambrosiak, even if the comments hate you, I got you back. But that does conclude this Rock HQ video. If you want to know more about Rock HQ, check out the links down below. Follow us on Twitter for a chance to battle me in Shade. And if you want to know more about the Gym Leader Challenge, the most realistic Gym Leader simulator ever of all time, definitely check out the link below. That is down there, as well as information on the Rocket tier system, how you can level up in Team Rocket to go from a grunt to an admin, just like Shade and I. So without further ado, this is Admin Umbra signing off for Rocket HQ and bidding you all adieu. I guess I just felt like rhyming, but have a good one, everybody, and take it easy.